Ange, Rob and Robbo.
Streaming live across the globe, Anjali Rao, Rob McKnight, and David Robinson.
Ange, Rob and Robbo. News and views, entertainment too. See Ange, Rob and Robbo. Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Hello everyone for this wonderful Wednesday on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. Anjali Rao and David Robinson are with me, and did you know it's National Cabbage Day on February 17? It recognises a delightful garden staple that provides some of the best recipes for the Celtic holidays coming up next month. It's an excellent day to test your corned beef and cabbage skills alongside other delicious seasonal dishes. Robbo, from the French caboche, meaning head, cabbage comes from a variety of forms. The cabbage family is quite varied and includes Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cornflower, bok choy, and kale. Cabbage is an ancient food with origins in Asia Minor. How about that?
No. That's not true. The word in French for head is la tête. Caboche means, and look, caboche, we are not in Italy. La caboche means your noggin. It's like a slang word for head.
Hang on, and are you starting this edition of the show off saying the internet was wrong?
Oh, I certainly am. I know it would be the first time the internet was ever wrong, but can I just say that I did have Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight in honour of La Jour de Caboche, and so it's a very good thing that both of you are in different states. That's all I can say.
Well, I just have nightmares about Brussels sprouts, just quietly. I don't like to talk about them, and it's hilarious that it's Cabbage Day because I do not eat cabbage. So, you know, it's a wonderful thing.
Explains a lot.
Robbo, we've got a great show coming up. We're going to meet an entertainer who's putting on a fabulous tribute show to the late Helen Reddy. Jason Roses will be here with all the entertainment news, and there's a little bit of an intriguing story developing tonight that we want to bring to you. And we'll also be joined by Bruno, so who knows what he'll be talking about, of course. But first, let's get into the big hot-button issues of the day. And despite problem gambling growing in Australia, the CEO of the Peak Bot Lobby Group for Wagering says there's no problems with Australians going into debt for a bet. Brent Jackson, the boss of Responsible Wagering Australia, says that online gambling is safer as users can be monitored in real time. Sunshine Coast MP Andrew Wallace completely disagrees and will try to force banks to ban credit card use for online gambling. This is interesting, Ange. There is a gambling problem in this country, but at what stage do we allow adults to take care of themselves and make their own decisions?
But I don't think it's about that. Cards on the table, so to speak. I don't gamble. I loathe the entire notion of it. Casinos make me want to vomit, and the people who make a living out of preying on those who do gamble are just as vile as crack dealers to me. But it's not about preventing them from gambling. They're perfectly free to do that, just as a drug addict is perfectly free to put a needle in their arm. It's about allowing them to access credit. And that, I think, is absolutely just, you cannot allow that. If they're spending money that isn't theirs, then, I absolutely do applaud the notion of not letting, keyboard punters use money that doesn't belong to them to feed an addiction. But the problem here lies in what Andrew Wallace, who I think is great in this sense. But the problem is that he's trying to get banks to voluntarily agree to help in not allowing problem gamblers to access credit. And I love it. It's a fantastic notion. It's so unicorns, but I just can't see that happening. Where's all that, juicy fat interest from all that debt going to go? The big four, definitely, they're never going to go for it. And I just think there's got to be some other way to go about this, because if you go, come on, banks, do the right thing, who is going to do that?
Well, Robbo, the fact is people can get credit and then make bets. So why can't they choose to do it on their own credit card? And on Ange's point, I think 2 banks have voluntarily signed up, but the big 4 haven't. It is this notion of credit, isn't it?
It is. For the majority of the population, it wouldn't be a problem. Credit card, in casinos or online, but we're not thinking about that majority because the majority is okay. We're thinking about the people who have a problem, and they are vulnerable people who have gambling addictions. You know, people take their own lives when it comes to it. They ruin their lives as well. They lose their families, their houses, and things like that. They are vulnerable people, and we need to take care of them.
How far do we go with that, Robbo? Because if you take that path, you would almost ban gambling. You wouldn't allow ATMs to be at casinos or RSL clubs or anything like that. You know, how far do you take it in the guise of protecting those who can't protect themselves?
Well, I think in regards to casinos and things like that, so already you can't get cash advances on credit cards in any ATM, in any casino or pokies lounge. You just can't do it. You can only get cash out. You can't use a credit card in a poker machine. Already those things exist. The worrying thing is what you do is we all know that these are addictive. They are designed to be addictive. So when you've already got one aspect of an addiction that we all have really for the smartphone, you've then got that wonderful way of, I don't need to leave my house. I don't need to put pants on. I can sit here, get on the TAB, and just go for it. That's what I think is the problem because, yes, normal people, and normal is the wrong word and I apologise for that, people who don't suffer from addiction are fine. You know, they'll just put their $20 in and it's done. But we're talking about the people who don't do that. So we've got and this wonderful thing of just infinite scrolling and you know, now we've got CGI races and dogs and horses. So it's not even, you don't even have to wait for the races to start on a day. You can do it, digitally that way. I think this is good policy. And I hope it's adopted because it's just, we have to help people who need help. And this is the same as giving, you said this to me once actually, Rob, it's the same as giving a suicidal person a gun. You know, just you're giving someone who requires more support, requires help. You're making it so easy. It's disgusting that we're even having this conversation. The credit could be used.
And that's why I really like... Yeah, I was just going to say that's why I really like what Andrew Wallace is saying, that of course he's going to go to the banks and say, come on, do the right thing. You're always banging on about how socially responsible you are, and of course they might be on plenty of other fronts, but come on, they love problem gamblers. They're not just going to put their hands up to slaughter that golden goose. They just use personal individual responsibility as the excuse to carry on letting online problem gamblers get deeper and deeper into the most dreadful debt. But he said that, okay, if you don't do that, then I'm going to take it as far up the chain as I possibly can until I force this through. And I really do. I think that's a fantastic idea. I really do. They're not saying, we're banning gambling. Of course not. It's just about access to other people's money. That's all.
Well, and look, this is what I agree with. I don't think you need a credit card to gamble. And I do think the things we have in place do protect those in harm's way. So I don't see how any government could pass legislation to allow the use of credit cards, especially in casinos and things like that. So I actually do think it makes sense not to allow credit cards to be used for online gambling, even though it's obviously easier to sign up. But the fact is, when you're down, you think you just have to keep playing to get back on top. A win's got to come through sooner or later. And this is the cycle we see people going into that fall into a lot of debt. They end up destroying families. So, I do believe people have to take personal responsibility for their actions. Having said that, I do think we don't need to allow people to use credit to gamble. All right, let's move on. And Meghan Markles, Meghan...
It's Meghan.
And you threw me today because I went to say Megan in the Australian, and it's, of course...
Because I told you the way that it's said, the way that she says it, that everybody says it in America, it's Meghan.
Megan.
I'm sorry.
I cannot do the American thing. In Australia, I do believe we should say, this is the topic. When people are being talked about in Australia, should it be Megan or Megan? I said to you just before we came on
Megan.
Elle Macpherson is called Elle McPherson in the States. They didn't adopt the Australian way. Anyway, let's move on with the actual topic because Meghan Markle's sister is... What did I do?
Oh. Megan. It's Megan.
I can't do it.
Megan.
All
Oh
right.
my God.
Meghan Markle's sister is back in the headlines having a go at the royal while promoting her new book. Samantha Markle appeared on Sunrise, or should that be Samantha? Markle appeared on Sunrise and wasted no time putting the boot in. Take a look at this.
So Harry and Meghan are in the news again this week because they've announced their second baby. Did you already know that? Had you spoken to Meghan about her second pregnancy?
No, of course not. We haven't heard from her, and I think that's clear. And I'm hoping that she will resolve that with our father, because still, it's uncalled for. A father who does everything for you. It's nice to and natural to show some gratitude and love and respect. So that needs to be repaired before anything.
How will it be repaired?
I think the burden is on her. She's the one that isolated the entire family, both sides of the family, the Raglands and the Markles. And she's ignored my father since his heart attacks. It's only humane to make that right. And no one can do that but her.
So, Samantha, just clear it up. Did your dad hear that Meghan was having another baby at the same time that the rest of us did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you'd have to talk to him about that. But, so I think more at issue is their relationship first, and that needs to be repaired. Babies are wonderful. They're a miracle and exciting, but you need to start with the bigger priority first, and that is apologizing and making things right again from her.
Samantha insists the book, The Diary of a Princess's Pushy Sister Part 1, is not a so-called tell-all, but rather a sociological journey. A couple of things here. Samantha Armitage, brilliant newsreader, actually said Meghan before she corrected herself on the second take and said Meghan. So I'm not the only one.
Let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Second of all, special guest Justin Timberlake is just over there singing Crimea River, because give me a break. Like, these people, why would Meghan tell her father that she's pregnant before the rest of the world? Because by the time she'd put the call in and hung up, he would have been selling that story to any tabloid that would take it. These people cannot be trusted with the privacy that this lady needs and deserves. She is a royal. She's a celebrity in the public eye. These people have used and abused that for their own money-making schemes. And like her, I would drop them to kingdom come. Get stuffed. Get out of here. You deserve nothing from this lady, and you are leeches on this lady who has had to put up with the crap from her family all this time, through the wedding, through the pregnancies. She writes heartfelt letters to her dad, which she gives to sells to tabloids. These people are outrageous, saying she needs some humanity. Piss off.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Mother Teresa here? I thought it was Meghan Markle.
I'm not saying Meghan is perfect, but this is ridiculous. These people are using and abusing her.
That's who I thought you were talking about, Meghan Markle, and you were referring to the fact that she is a money-hungry...
They are
okay. Yeah, right. I know what you were talking about. I was making a little fun point there. Look, Meghan Markle...
Come in, Robbo. The red mist had come in.
Meghan Markle Meghan Markle has done the same thing. She has leaked things through friends to the press. What's good for the goose is going to be good for the gander.
That's fine. She is allowed to leak whatever she wants about herself, but these people have used and abused her position as an actress and now as a royal to just make money off her name.
Of course, it's really good fun though, don't you think?
Oh.
I love it. It's fantastic. I mean, the greatest disappointment about what Samantha Markle just said was that I'm writing a sociological journey. Oh my God. Sociological snooze fest. I'll just watch Dr. Phil for Christ's sake. Come on. Give us some more dirt. I love it.
Well, you're going to get your dirt, Ange, that's for sure. But am I the only one who's... I feel like I'm the only one taking this seriously, because I think these people are reprehensible.
They are. That's the fun of it.
They're all reprehensible. The royals are reprehensible. The Meghan Markle, they're all reprehensible people. They all try to mould their own narrative in the world. This is all fun. You want to get in the sandbox, you got to expect to get some sand in your jocks. And
I think you
don't
need to be
agree with
taken
it.
to
I
the
think
tower for that, Robbo.
the tower.
Off with his
yeah,
head.
the tower. I don't know why I was like genuinely so excited to be sent to the tower. I think I've got some issues. I was really genuinely very excited. All I saw was like the chains and the thing. I don't know what's happening there. I'm also doing my internal monologue right now on the show, so I do apologise. Let's move on. I don't know what. I'm so sorry.
Look, to me, this is just okay. If your family had betrayed you the way her family had Ange, would you leave them? Would you just cut all contact?
I think it's very hard to put myself in that situation because my parents are currently watching from the UK. Hi, Mum and Eric. But, and they've always been wonderful to me. So it's very hard to sit here and go, oh, well, if they'd been hideous to me. But okay, sort of like putting my Meghan Markle cap on, I think I would. I think I would absolutely kick him to the curb. They've done absolutely nothing except, sponge off the name. And that was even evidenced by, Samantha Markle changing her name back to Markle from whatever anonymous thing it was. When I think she was already married, she'd taken on her husband's name for years. And then she decided, oh, well, Markle is suddenly now, a big old name and everybody's mentioning it. So I'll just be Markle again. So it's all very see-through. It's very transparent. It's very grubby. Of course it is. But I can't get enough of it. Really
Well, I think we know what we can expect when Ange is on The Real Housewives of Melbourne. She will be going for the dirt, let's be honest.
That's right.
I cannot wait. Didn't you say shooting starts soon?
It does. It starts April the 10th.
Cannot wait.
Scary. The other housewives.
Let's move on. And
just quickly, is anyone else cold? Because if we take my shot,
I do not know.
Very bloody cold, and I don't know what happened. Nothing changed.
I do not know what's happened.
Oh, it's bloody freezing up here in Queensland. Maybe I shouldn't have had to go at the Markles or the Royals. I don't know what's happened. The lights haven't changed. Nothing's changed up here. I've got a crew of 40 here, guys. Can we get this fixed, please? Sorry. Hard to get good work, good job, good people.
See if they can work it out. All right, let's move on. And while some were celebrating love on Valentine's Day, world-renowned director Taika Waititi had a different commemoration in mind. The director, who is of Maori descent, instead celebrated the death of Captain Cook, who was stabbed in the neck when he arrived in Hawaii on his third visit. He posted on Twitter, "Today we celebrate love and also fondly remember the demise of Captain Cook at the hands of the beautiful native Hawaiians in 1779. Now look, just last week Gina Carano was fired from The Mandalorian for comments she made on social media. So the question has been raised by many, will Waititi be fired from his future projects under Disney as well? And what do you think about this? Should he be fired for expressing this view?
It's a weird one because, we were talking at length about Gina Carano, as you just mentioned the other day, fired for airing her views, likening being Republican in 2021 to being, Jewish in the Holocaust. And Robbo and I both said at that time that she deserved to be fired because she's representing her employer and she must have known what would have happened, given that Hollywood is run by Democrats and Jewish people. And how would audiences be able to get into believing her as the character again? So this, though, I think is really quite different because Taika Waititi has voiced his joy at the way that Captain Cook met his end before this particular incident, and Disney still hired him. And the way that he says stuff, the way that all of his characters are ever embodied is in this sort of a quirky, offbeat, comedic sort of way. And that's his shtick. And that's sort of the way that he was saying, what he did about Captain Cook, and the previous times as well. And this is also the guy who starred as Hitler in the, Oscar-winning film that he wrote and directed. Yet he's actually half Jewish himself, Taika Waititi. I don't know if you know this, but so's Hollywood, half Jewish. But
I was aware.
Seriously, his real last name is Cohen, and because of the sort of the kooky way in which he presents things that he says, they sort of match with his character. It's not a stretch for audiences then to continue to believe that Taika Waititi is that character that he plays. So I don't think he will be sacked at all. Plus America doesn't really have a dog in the race when it comes to Captain Cook, whereas, Gina Carano was jumping on the Trump bus and, kaboom, obviously.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I actually don't think he should be sacked over this. I think it's people trying to look for something. His comments were about an event that actually happened. And, Captain Cook did come through and, there were a few issues with Captain Cook and the places he went to.
There were some issues, yes.
Yeah, there are a couple of issues. So, whereas... Gina was basically making some... I still don't think she should have been fired either. And a side note I was reading today with her was she was actually in talks to have a spin-off series just for her character and was actually meant to be announced on Disney Day, and they pulled it because of her earlier tweets. So she had been warned. That's the difference here. Lucasfilm and Disney had actually approached her and said, we don't like what you're tweeting. You need to calm it down. She didn't. And they finally pulled the plug. And I do think there is, I do think there's recourse there because they've let her know they don't like. They've given her the warning. I think when it comes out of nowhere, it's a problem. But because she'd been warned, she's lost a whole series that would have been based around her. Very silly to keep going ahead.
Yeah, she did a nice flipping the bird to the press today as a result of that. Also, maybe not the best look in this particular instance. Maybe not.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robbo, you're looking healthy again.
I've turned the heater on, Rob. It's global warming. What we saw then was bloody global warming in real time. I just had an ice age go through here, but it's real. And now I'm warm again and still very pale. Anyway, good work on that topipic, guys. I was listening the whole time. I thought you guys were great.
I'm sure you weren't running around like a head chopped off.
That means a lot.
Now, look, let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on because I'm quite interested in this next topic. Mandy Moore has lashed out at a publication for pulling a scheduled interview, but it's got nothing to do with the star throwing a tantrum. The unnamed publication decided to pull a wide-ranging interview with Ms. Moore when she said she wouldn't talk about a certain subject. Unconfirmed reports point to the subject being the allegedly abusive relationship with fellow singer Ryan Adams. The actress and candy singer said she didn't want to talk about it because it would just give clickbait and energy to a subject she no longer wants to address. Now, all of that is fine. The lady doesn't have to talk about what she doesn't want to talk about. But she can't then get upset at the publication deciding not to do an interview, can she, Ange?
I think what the publication said in response to her was actually really fair to both sides. It was very even-handed. And, I've been in this situation so many times, particularly when I had my celebrity chat show on CNN for years. There was essentially a This Is Your Life. And, frequently, either, the celebrities themselves or their people who are always hideous, you cannot talk about this. You will not talk about that. It's like, cool, see ya. Journos, we're doing a job as well, and we have to report to our superiors as well. Not asking the big questions is a sackable offence. And, yes, her answer to what we think the question would have been about her ex, sure, that's fine. But publications want and need to put their own stamp on any interview. So it's naive to think that you won't be asked again just because something's out there. And she could have come up with her own response to beforehand, like say she'd been asked the question. You have that in your head. So, ask your PR people what you should say, even if it's to just totally shut it down. But then to have a fit after that, well, all I can say is that fits in really well with the spat that I had with Mandy Moore. But that's by the by.
No,
celebs.
Hang on, time out. We've got to hear this.
She was not nice. She was not pleasant.
Really?
Very, very entitled. Yep. Refused to allow me into my own makeup room, my own hair room, as I was going on air to do a live half-hour show to the planet. Because she was basically in there doing her scales, warming up. And it's like, there are a million other places that you could do that, Mandy Moore. But no, she absolutely refused to. And then she got her people to basically pull me away from my own private hair and makeup room where like all my suits were and everything, and completely unapologetic, just looked me up and down like I was a piece of crap. So yeah, I didn't feel sorry for her at all.
Well, it's
and
funny, I wasn't feeling sorry for her, and now my opinion has completely. I'll tell you something, Mandy Moore. You are dead to me. You will never be on this show. That's a promise.
I love you, Rob. Love you.
I'm here for you, Ange. Now, you mess with one of my people, you mess with me. That's the way it is. Now, Robbo, at Studio 10, whenever you do celebrity interviews, whether it's here or at Studio 10 or anywhere, there sometimes is a bit of push and pull over what can and can't be asked. We used to, at the show and here, we never get asked for our questions. Every interview we do is just what we decide to do. But sometimes at Studio 10, you'd get a big act on or someone and they'd say, you can't ask us this. And I would get in trouble because sometimes I would pull interviews, because we would say, hang on, that's the whole reason we want to talk to you. Nothing else you're doing is interesting. It's like you're known for this big song. You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about this charity thing you're doing. We'll talk about the charity thing, fine, but we've also got to be talk to you about the thing you are known for. And this is when they do get so entitled and so far up their bum they can't see to last Sunday. It's just, I agree with Ange, it's this sense of entitlement some of these people have.
No, you're exactly right. And I think it's a give and take. It's a relationship. Like Ange said, journalists have a job to do. They've got a job to do. We're all in what's essentially show business, isn't it? So we've all got something. I understand that there might be some things that they not want to talk about and things like that. But if you're known for it, then you've just got to suck it up because that's part of your narrative. Two great examples for you really quickly is Nomi Rowe talking about Ron Casey. He has talked about that to the ends of the earth, but he still talked to you about it on this program. He still talks about it with other people and gave it new information. The other one that really still annoys me because of so many factors, and that was Melissa George on the morning show, who got really pissy about having to talk about Angel. A couple of things there. Angel was the thing that made her. She was on the network that the Home and Away is on, obviously, the 7 network. And it is, in this country, the biggest thing you've really ever done. If we look at you in this country, then you are Angel. Get over yourself. It is just, outrageous. Back onto Mandy Moore, I can't believe that she was doing scales, because when you said scales, I thought you meant she was weighing herself, Ange, because I'm pretty sure that that's not her singing on any of her CDs. She can't sing,
I don't know.
Abby's a big fan, and I just got the death stare.
Maybe scales was a euphemism, Robbo.
She was doing scales.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that, shall we?
She was not doing anything illegal. We just want to make that clear. We're having a joke.
No, she wasn't. She was singing badly.
She always wants more, though, doesn't she? She's always after more.
She calls herself Mandy Moore, but let's be honest, she's Mandy less.
I'll tell you. And also, it's Mandy Mean in the back of that control room there, because I just got a ha. I got to tell you, Mandy Mean is hurtful. Mandy Moore's mean, but Mandy Mean is meaner, and it hurts.
You're the one who wants to mic her up.
Not anymore. Cut the mic from that woman. She can't get a mic anymore.
Hey, look.
We'll do some pre-recorded laughs.
Yeah, hang on. This is what you need, Robbo. Hang on. All right.
Yeah, that's normally
Coming
how quick
up,
it goes.
Jason Roses is going to bring us all the entertainment news, and he's really hoping that Bruno doesn't speak for too long, because, as he said before the show, Bruno's on, I'll be lucky to get one entertainment story. But we are trying to race through to make sure Jason gets his allotted time. But in the meantime, let's get the latest news headlines with Ange.
Indeed, Rob, getting you right across some of the day's other headlines on this Wednesday, February the 17th, 2021. A Melbourne man has admitted to gunning down his own daughter and her husband as they returned to their home after celebrating their first wedding anniversary. Unemployed Osman Shabtafaj pleaded guilty to 2 charges of murder. His motive for killing Lindita and Biton Masay, who were both in their 20s, is as yet unclear, though Lindita had been trying to start a life away from her father, who's been described as controlling. Victoria's third COVID lockdown will end at midnight, hurrah, after the state recorded no new cases. That said, some restrictions remain in force. The 4 main reasons for leaving home, along with the much-detested 5-kilometre travel ban, will be scrapped, but masks still have to be worn both indoors and outdoors. Premier Daniel Andrews hailed Victorians for their hard work during the state's third lockdown and said he'll review restrictions further next Friday. A shock ending to Ash Barty's Australian Open hopes, the women's world number 1 crashing out of the tournament in controversial style. A medical timeout by Barty's opponent, Karina Mukhova, changed the course of their quarterfinal match despite Barty powering through the first set in just 24 minutes. Suffering in the 30-degree heat, Mukhova was seen by a doctor, the 10-minute break apparently rattling Barty enough to see her come off second best at 6-1, 3-6, 2-6. Carnivores, avert your ears because Bill Gates wants us all to stop eating beef, unless it's of the synthetic variety. Delicious. The 4th wealthiest person on the planet, Gates, says steps like this will help avoid a global climate calamity, with cows producing methane as they feed on grass, with methane being a potent greenhouse gas. The Microsoft founder says plant-based meat alternatives are a viable option for non-third world countries. However, no word yet on the fake steak taste. And a North Queensland couple was shocked to see a slithery stowaway on their car when a huge python appeared over the bonnet and started making its way to the driver's side window. The pair were understandably shocked and decided that the best course of action would be to turn on the windscreen wipers, which only caused the snake to slide back and forth, still sticking to the vehicle. The reptile clung on for 50 kilometres before it finally slunk away into the wilderness. Also, pulling over and letting that beautiful creature go peacefully on its merry way perhaps was an option. I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, to tomorrow's weather. Cairns will have rain at times. There'll be showers in Brizzy. Sydney will have a shower or two, and there's a possible shower for Canberra. Meanwhile, the sun will be out in Melbourne and Hobart. Adelaide is set for a very hot and sunny day as the mercury hits 38 degrees. Over in Perth, you'll have morning showers before the weather clears. It'll be a mostly sunny day in Alice Springs, and there's a possible storm for Darwin. Now, back to Rob.
Thank you, Ange. Well, last year we were shocked to hear of the passing of Helen Reddy, one of Australia's most iconic and memorable artists. But Nikki Bennett is paying tribute to the legend herself in a special stage show. Nikki, welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo show.
Thank you.
Look, it really is great to have you here because your show is called Invincible, the Helen Reddy story, and It has gotten rave reviews. Audiences are loving it. What can people expect to see?
Well, this is a bit different to, like, people think that this is just going to be like a normal tribute show, and it really, really isn't. This has been written like a mini musical, if you like. So it's the whole story of her life. And then I don't exactly play her, but I dress as her and I talk like her and I tell the stories of her life. And then we put the songs in where they mean something to the story there. So it's really written like a musical, and it gets such an amazing response from the audience because she had such an extraordinary life story that really nobody knows about, even though the movie last year did tell a little bit of that story. It left out so much of the message.
Well, true. But seriously, watching that footage there, I mean, your transformation is remarkable. You look just like her.
Everybody's the really good thing. Well, it's good and bad. If I step outside dressed as me after the show, I can hear exactly what people think because they who I am. They really don't. It's just like I'm instantly not recognised. It's great.
Look, let me ask you. The theatre is full of lots of great traditions, you know, that people do before they go on. You can't say good luck. You've got to say break a leg and all those kind of things. But do you have any kind of ritual you do before you go on stage and harness Helen Reddy?
Yes. I have 2 glasses of port.
Well, it's working for you. Oh, I love that.
Because if I drink anything else, I get a little bit drunk, but I don't want to just, I don't know, there's something about port. It's just every singer will tell you that. It's not really so much for harnessing Helen. It's just more for, I don't know, I just
Bit
do
of
that.
courage.
It is a ritual, yes.
Well, but it is funny, though, because I have seen actors say, I don't feel like this character until I've got the nose on or until I've got the glasses on. But for you, it's a couple of glasses of port.
Well, it's a couple of glasses of port and an extremely good wig. I mean...
well, see, the wig, it's that
wig.
physical attribute.
So she had an incredibly recognisable hairstyle all her life, but especially in her younger years. She had that 70s shag happening. And it took me such a long time to find the perfect wig, but I had it all cut especially, and it really does. It transforms me on stage. So I do feel a lot more like her as soon as I put that on. It just...
Well, looking at this footage, you look exactly like her. Oh, hang on, that's her. Sorry. Easy to get you two confused.
and that's definitely her.
Nikki, seriously, this is such a great show. And look, for tickets and information, go to the Facebook page, Invincible, the Helen Reddy Story. If you search for that, you'll find all the details you want to know. Nikki, she really was amazing, wasn't she? And you are incredibly lucky to get to play this role.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, I've played it to people all around the world now, and it's so amazing to be able to play it to Australian audiences. It's a different vibe with Australian audiences because I think they have a different memory of her. The Americans don't even know that she was Australian. They think she was American. Yeah, I was surprised too. It was... I couldn't believe that.
I mean, we hang our hat on that. She's Australian. She's Australian.
I think it was because she made it in the United States. You know, that was where she really cracked the big time there. And she won the Grammy Award there. So they just assumed she was American because
she couldn't possibly be Australian. She's too successful.
She was the first Australian to ever win the Grammy Award. So nobody had ever won it like that before until she did it. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what I love about this musical. You're going to learn information like that you didn't know. You're going to get great music and you get Nikki. So you get three great things. Just search for Invincible, the Helen Reddy Story. It's on Facebook. All the information of all the venues, all the dates, all the tickets, all on Facebook. Make sure you go there. Nikki, thanks for being on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, she's great. Okay, it's time to get a hit of entertainment, and for that, we go to Jason Roses. Hello, Jason.
Hello, how are you, Rob?
Mate, I'm good. It's so lovely to see your smiling face down there in Canberra, and there is quite a lot of entertainment news happening, isn't there?
There's a lot going on. So Ashley Judd has shared photos from her grueling 55-hour rescue mission after her leg injury in the Congo. Rita Ora to headline one of Australia's biggest cultural events, and Adam Sandler recreates one of his most classic scenes as this fan favourite movie celebrates a major milestone. And some exciting baby news for two stars of Game of the Thrones. I'll have all the latest celebrity news in around 10 minutes right here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. In the meantime, here is Robbo.
Oh, Jason Roses, thank you very much. We're looking forward to your entertainment report coming up a little later. Thank you, sir. I don't know why I saluted you, but I thought it was nice. You look smart. Sir. Yeah.
Thank you too.
Thanking you. All right, we'll see you later. Let's check out what's happened on this day, the 17th of February, throughout history. And first off, it's Nixon going to China. It was 1972 and the US President Richard Nixon announced an historic trip to China. It was the first time a US president had visited the Republic and ended over 25 years of diplomatic silence between the two nations. The trip was seen as a tremendous success. Staying in the same year, 1972, the Volkswagen Beetle exceeded sales of the legendary Ford Model T. The car was, of course, brought to life by none other than Adolf Hitler. And finally, it was on this day in 2013 when Jimmy Fallon took to the helm of The Tonight Show, following in the footsteps of Johnny Carson and Jay Leno. Robert.
Big day. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. All right, now it's time to go down the rabbit hole with our good friend Bruno Boucher. Hello, Bruno.
Oh, hey, Bruno. Guys. And Robbo, I'm so glad to have you back. Last week it was two girls and Rob. And look, I don't want to sound like Pete Evans, but girl germs is a real thing. So
yeah. I've got a light. I've got a light that I can plug in, and you can get rid of that. Actually, it's a special lamp. I'll talk to you about the details after the show. But you just put it in yourself. It's kind of like a suppository. Yeah, yeah.
I'll just go then, shall I?
Like that. Hey, listen,
No, stay
Rob.
Yes.
Rob, I've had this look, to pull the curtain back a little bit, I had a chat with Rob today, and
Yes.
I got halfway through my conversation with him, and I said, you know what, it's probably best that I talk to you about it on the show. But Rob, you've put me in a really, really bad position with my friend and host of the Amazing Race Australia, Beau Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what you've done?
Oh, he made some claims that he was earning $800,000 for the Amazing Race.
You're not explaining.
Been interviewed by the Daily Mail and made some comments about it.
Oh,
all right.
Hold on. He's put his glasses on. This is serious.
Okay.
Here we go.
So this is the Daily Mail. You're correct, and I quote: "Hosting the Amazing Race is considered one of the best jobs in television." And former footy player Beau Ryan surprised fans on Monday when he revealed he was being paid $800,000. That's a lot of money, right? That's exciting. However, Rob, get ready for it. However, there are some rumblings of doubt among media insiders concerning the eye-watering six-figure sum. Who could that be? I continue. TV Black Box editor and former 10 executive Rob McKnight told Daily Mail Australia, and I quote, "It would have to be a multi-year deal. That's a lot of money for a show that rates under 600,000 viewers." The hosts of the project will be on just over half of that, and they work all year round.
It's not true.
Okay, now here's the issue. You're my friend, Beau Ryan's my friend, so I get a phone call from Beau Ryan saying, "What's going on with Rob? I thought he was one of us." and now I don't know what to do. I'm sort of stuck between mum and dad fighting, and what am I meant to do? Like, if my friend says he's been paid $800,000 a year, then he's been paid $800,000 a year. What do you want me to say?
Look, if he says that he is, now let's be honest, the way he phrased it on the Kyle and Jackie O show wasn't concrete, right? And I'm just saying that's a lot of money just for the Amazing Race. That's why it either has to be a multi-year deal or a full network contract. He could actually be earning $800,000 a year with the network, to be contracted to the network, but certainly not just for a 3-month run for one show. I just can't buy that. Sonia Kruger would be on the same kind of money with her full deal at 7.
How much is Tracy Grimshaw making? You check her pay slips. I know what you get up to.
I reckon she'd be on about 800 or 900.
800 or 900.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Bucks.
I don't know that for a fact.
Okay.
We know that Carl was the multi-million-dollar man. We know that Adam Boland, when he was an executive at Channel 7, was on $750,000. When I was the EP of Studio 10, I was on $320,000.
You were? Do you know what I got paid for that damn show to host?
Yeah.
$400 a show. $400 to main host.
Oh my God! And did you?
Yeah, because they said if I save money, I can keep it. No, I'm joking. They didn't say that.
And did you get a cab charge at least?
I didn't even get a sodding cab charge, Bruno. Oh my God, it was so
That's
bad.
not true. I gave you a cab charge.
No.
All right. Yeah, but it doesn't add to the narrative, Rob.
Can I tell you, when I was the guest and talent booker for the Kyle and Jackie O show, we'd throw people a few bucks for an appearance, but the really savvy ones, they would always ask for a cab charge, right? And then I would notice that they'd actually end up driving in and they'd taken the cab charges anyway. And then months later, I'd have the receptionist tell me, the cab charge that was allocated to Brian McFadden, it just popped up on Sunday night for $680. And I'm just
Now he's escaped back to Dublin anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, those used to be crazy, those things.
There was a great story. Sorry, Bruno. There was a great story from Studio 10 where a legend of Australian television also did the same thing, got a cab charge, then went and did some shopping, went to the pub, and just kept the meter running as she was running her errands for the day. No, it was a she.
God, a she?
Yeah,
that's so naughty, especially.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know about this.
Is she still alive?
Yes, you did.
Oh, did I? Okay.
She is. Yeah. No, we had to fully go through your office with spray and wipe to eliminate the memory of that particular person.
Denise
so,
Drysdale?
I mean, no, not that one.
No drills, no Sues, no. We're not.
But there's a little tip in what I just said there for the Sherlock Holmes people throughout the world. Anyway, I love your glasses though. Are they bifocals?
Oh, bloody.
Bruno?
Oh, don't change the subject. Everyone wants to know who it is. Why can't we find out who it is?
Oh, look, I've told you. I've already given you some good goss tonight, Bruno. You're meant to be telling us stuff. Hey, now, quickly,
okay.
Before we let you go, because Jason does have a fabulous entertainment segment coming up, you haven't eaten for 6 days.
I haven't eaten since Sunday. I was initially going to talk about that the whole way through, but then, Bo Ryan needed me to stand up for him. But, I haven't eaten since Sunday.
Bruno, tell Bo I love him. And I even said, just to go back, I actually said Bo is great talent in the Daily Mail article. Yes, you can check it's in there in black and white.
You didn't say he's great talent. The quote is, and I quote, Bo's great, but... I just can't see how you can justify such a cost in this environment for a short-run show. Yeah, you're a big fan, Rob.
I love this.
I love it that Bruno is taking the word of the Daily Fail over you, Rob.
No, don't you I love the Daily Mail. I love the Daily Mail.
Oh yeah.
So do I.
Sorry, Ange.
I wouldn't miss
no,
it.
Ange, we're not allowed to make fun of the Daily Mail on this show because, Rob gets his name printed in there. Yeah, we love them. We love them. They're fantastic.
Yeah, so anyway, I haven't eaten since Sunday. I'm really hungry. I might probably eat tomorrow night. I want to see how long I can go for.
Why are you
I've lost
doing
all
this?
this weight and, don't do it.
What? Hang on. Why are you doing this? Are you having shakes? Are you having anything in your body?
No. Just water. That's the only thing. So, no, can I tell you, I was on the train the other day and I was just like Googling weird, like whatever, how do you lose weight quickly? And then, like the Yahoo question and answer things, you know that thing, like where people... someone literally just wrote, what happens if I don't eat for a week? And then someone replied, and they had like good grammar and spelling. So, I was likely to believe what they said. They were just like, oh, no, it's actually really good for the body. It resets it. Like, everyone should do it. So I was like, done. So, yeah, that's why I haven't eaten since Sunday.
All right.
Well,
maybe we'll follow this up next week.
But do you get hangry? Like, because I get very hangry.
Oh, you get angry, do you? Ooh, Robbo on the rampage. No, fine. I'm angry all the time.
Oh, yeah, I did. I want you to eat something because I didn't like that. Normally you're nice, and I felt bullied then. So
Actually,
can you please go and have something to eat?
It's going to be an HR thing.
Hey, Bruno, do me a favour. Tell Bo that I'll buy him a beer and to make everything right when I come down to Sydney next.
He doesn't drink.
Oh.
That's why he's so hot.
What does he need 800,000 for then? What's he spending it on? Anyway.
Oh, I could tell you, but I'd have to.
All right, Bruno. We'll see you next week.
Bye,
Good
Bruno.
to see you, mate.
Love you.
Guys, love you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now it's time for our random live shot of the day.
It's the random live shot of the day. Where are you going today? You'll never know where you'll end up with the random live shot of the day.
Well, talking about Brian McFadden there with Bruno Boucher, we're taking you to Dublin in Ireland. It is the city of pubs. That's right, there are 666... Oh, no, the sign of the devil in the ye olde town. But the first pub was built there in 1168. Look at that bustling metropolis. I don't know what's happened. Maybe they're about to do a flash mob because they seem to not be moving at all. Maybe it's the Truman Show there, which is fantastic. For those people, once they do get...
Best movie.
A fantastic movie. It's partly cloudy day with a low of 6 degrees and a top of 10 degrees as we bring you some feedback here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, we're on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. Jason says, hard-ass Rob is back in the building. He needs to do a few more squats before we can actually call him a hard ass. Gay Right says, I'm surprised that Rob has enough emotional energy invested in Meghan Markle's family to get that wound up. Thank you very much, Gay Right there, and everyone noticed that I said the name correctly. Amanda says, TMI for Robbo's version of his imaginary time in the tower. Thank you, Amanda. I'm so sorry. Too much information there. I understand that, but I'm a sharing guy. Janelle says, oh no, Rob has the fake cheering tape that the tennis has at the moment. Lol. That's exactly right, because they're doing the same thing they did for the NRL, just putting in that fake crowd. Mary, okay, yep, no, can't get to that one. Mary Matthews, we saw your name very briefly on the screen, but we didn't get to that one, but we love you anyway. Share your feedback on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to search The ARR Show. Robert.
Thank you, David. I think if we bring the feedback super up, we'll be able to see Mary's. And she said, hasn't the whole show been entertainment related and not news? Yes, Mary. It's just the way the topics were today.
Mary, it was a rough day for topics, doll.
It really was.
It was.
Slow.
It really, really was.
It's a slow news day.
Yeah. So,
thoughts and prayers.
I hear your criticisms, Mary, and I'll have a good long think about that and have a Bex. But seriously, and also, while we're talking feedback, someone made the comment, I jokingly said yesterday, someone said they'd lost their top fan status, and I said, not enough comments. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why that's a Facebook thing. It's not something we have control of. It's an automatic thing. So I don't know why people have lost their top fan badge. I was just trying to make a joke and say, well, comment more. So just to bring everyone up to speed.
Look, and it is emotional to lose a top fan, sorry. So that's something that we all need to take into account. Let's go to Jason Roses now, because he's laughing, and I like it when he laughs. Hello there, Jason. What are you laughing at, buddy?
Hello, how are you? I'm laughing at your comment, people losing their badges. It's terrible. But I thought you said losing their OnlyFans, but luckily you were talking about that.
Can I just say, though, I do love it when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see the top fan badges next to people's names. I actually get a little thrill from that, because it just reminds me of the support we get for the people watching this show. And look, the show's been through a transition this year. We've gone to night times. Ben's moved on. We've got Angela here. We've got Jason. The show is different to what it was last year. I really like the show we're putting out at the moment. And when I see the comments and I see the people watching the show, I get a great sense of pride that you've come on this journey as we've evolved the show. So I know I'm being sincere and serious for a moment. I'm sorry about that. But thank you very much. You know, like, we really do appreciate it. All right, Jason. Sorry, Robbo.
Yeah, what Rob said. No, I know we're running out of time, so I was about to say something nice, and there was going to be this nice flow. We're
going well.
We're very happy. We'll find out what Jason's OnlyFans is at the end of his entertainment report, but first, let's find out what's happening.
Just shared a pretty frightening accident on Instagram.
Yeah, look, it is an incredible story. Ashley Judd, what she's gone through, she's currently recovering after suffering an accident in the Democratic Republic of Congo. On Tuesday, the 52-year-old actress shared photos of basically a grueling 55-hour rescue mission that saved her life. It is an incredible story. This is what she had to say. Without my Congolese brothers and sisters, my internal bleeding would have likely killed me, and I would have lost a leg. I wake up weeping in gratitude, deeply moved by each person who contributed something life-giving and spirit-salving during my 55-hour grueling odyssey. In the story and the details of this, they're incredible. It's like something you would see on a Netflix film. So she's basically injured her leg. She's broken her bones in like 4 places. She's been sitting on a rainforest floor for like 5 hours. Then a random man comes along and rescues her. Then 6 men take her across a terrain. It's like a Netflix needs to make a show about it. It's incredible.
Either that, or she just wanted a rest and got these guys to transport her through the jungle.
Everyone needs a jungle occasionally.
Yeah, if 6 men came and said, I'll carry you across the jungle, I'd say yes.
Oh, wow. That's very exciting. Sorry, Jason, you've just took my words out of my mouth, as Meatloaf says. Let's get back to it. Happy Gilmore is celebrating a very special anniversary.
Well, can you believe it's been 25 years since Happy Gilmore was released?
Wow.
And some have probably said it's the greatest golfing movie of all time. But in celebration, the big star, Adam Sandler, he's dusted off. Who is laughing and what are you laughing about?
I
Robbo,
said
is
it's
that
the
you
only
laughing?
golfing movie, that's all. I just threw in an aside.
Yes, okay.
And then I giggled
It is
at that.
the only golfing movie. Side note, I hate golf. But in celebration, Adam did.
Same here.
He remade his famous swing. Take a look.
Okay, it's been 25 years since I've done this. Let's see what happens. I'm scared. Shooter McGavin, this is
He's
for
got
you.
millions, but he can't afford a mic.
No.
And I'm not lying to you, that is smashed. Smashed. And that went pretty well. You dead, Shooter.
Do you know what
Now,
the difference
you know
is,
what
Jason?
I love? Yes, sorry.
The difference between him then and now, he used to be funny. Anyway, moving on.
Was he? Was he ever funny though?
Yeah.
No, I think he
I don't
was
know.
funny, and he looks good now.
Oh, he likes a bear, does Jason? He likes
It's been
the
a long
bear.
day.
Sorry, what? Did you just say he likes a bear and looking at Adam's?
That is exactly.
We are very
what
gay
he
friendly
said.
He's
here.
got the beard going, and I said Jason likes spares.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't.
I thought you said a bear.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, he did. Okay.
Maybe
God.
I-
Well, on that subject, isn't it a happy thing that Mardi Gras is going ahead, right? Who's going to be the special guest?
The whole show's been gay.
Oh, you couldn't
Oh my
write it.
God, I've got to stop this. Guys, I am so excited because, yes, Mardi Gras this year is going ahead and Rita Ora is going to be headlining the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. Of course, if you remember, last year it was Sam Smith and Dua Lipa who were involved. But what's a little bit different this year, instead of the traditional parade route along Oxford Street, it's actually going to be held at the Cricket Sydney ground as a ticketed event due to the pandemic. And if you're looking at, watching it live, you can do it on SBS. So if you want to have a Mardi Gras party at your house, you can do it. But I would love all of us to go because, Rob, I want to see you in a jockstrap.
Oh, that's just a Saturday night for me. In fact, that's all I'm wearing below here right now. Jason, can I just quickly ask, Rita Ora, she's doing the voice. She's really famous. What does she sing? I know she's famous. I don't recognise her from a bar of soap.
That song.
Sorry, but what is it?
It's a really good one. That one from 50 Shades of Grey that she's doing. This is one of the greatest songs ever. I love it.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, for you. Yeah.
Oh, I do
On all
recognise
fours
that
for you.
song. Okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay. Oh well, no, I know she's famous.
That's it, and now I'm out.
I'm not throwing shade. But anyway, Jason, two lovebirds on and off screen have had a baby.
They have two very, very sexy lovebirds. Of course, it is Kit Harington and Rose Leslie. They've welcomed a baby boy into their family. Now, of course, you'll remember Rose and Kit. They are in Game of Thrones, and Kit, of course, playing Jon Snow. What are you guys laughing at?
Can we run that photo again?
You're laughing at the same shot as me.
Yeah,
That first
can we
shot,
just
can
run
roll
that
the
first
footage
photo
Amanda?
again?
That looked.
I thought they were
it was
her
her
titties.
boobs hanging down.
That's what happens when
geez.
you have a baby.
Jeez, those memories are filled up, haven't they? Jeepers
I
creepers.
thought, wow, pregnancy is really.
So, you know,
Wow.
as of yesterday, Robbo, I mean, you're not allowed to say breasts, it's chesticles.
Oh, Chester.
Well, that's great that they've had a
Testicles,
baby,
yes.
Jason, but geez, that
It
shot
is
was
great.
so deceiving. Oh my God.
It was deceiving. They kind of look like my man boobs. But you remember they met on the
Hey.
set of Game of Thrones. So congrats, they're having a baby boy.
Yes, I feel like we
They had
watched the
it.
conception when you watch scenes of Game of Thrones with those two. They were very electric on the show, but I still can't get over that shot. Hey, look, thank you, Jason. We will see you on Monday for another episode of the
Thank you,
Andrew and
Jason.
Robbo Show. We will see you
Thank you,
all
guys.
tomorrow. with Joe Casamento will be joining us, and the $5 quiz is back. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
See Ange, Rob the Robbo, Ange, Rob the Robbo Show, Rob the Robbo Show.